Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the first episode of Doctor Stone, the New World of course, episode 1, etc. Now, this episode right here was nice, great, and fun. If you guys have not watched the special of the Doctor Stone Ryusei, I suggest you watch that first before you come over here because one, it picks off where Season 2 Stone Wars left off of, and so forth. And Ryusei, you're gonna like the guy. Although he is a little like, depending on the situation, on your perspective and point of view, he could be cringe and annoying, but he's actually very cool. Despite all that, he's very knowledgeable. Something that, like, almost close to Senku, but not as much as Super Brain Genius Senku, You get the idea. That aside, yeah, let's get this started. We have to it that our trio, which is Chrome, Ryusei, and Senku, ends up having to, like, whatchamacallit, land in Ishigami Village, and, Ryusei's being Ryusei, the guy's being greedy, wants to buy the village and all that. But when he looks at the food, he looks a little, like, disappointed, which I don't blame him for. I mean, his imagination, how he was grown up, or what he was born into, was actually pretty, like, what's the word? Pretty impressive, and kind of like, a disappointment to him, depending on the situation. Although, like, this is where the fun finally begins, and it becomes Minecraft mode. You get the idea, right? Minecraft mode, because that's what it did anyway. And those who play Minecraft, you get the idea. And it's very fun, by the way. Give it a try if you haven't played the game at all. Play with multiple people, and it'll be much more fun. That aside, let's continue. They end up scouting for land, making a map out of it, searching through the sky and the ground, That's where Chrome and Ukyo specialize in. And the skies belong to Senku, Ryusei, and Kohaku for the time being. Eventually, they end up finding some land, and they later on find some wheat, which is like a very big important, like, food source for, like, for the world. And we all know how wheat comes from. It makes bread, rice, I believe, and many other things that we can imagine right now. Although, like, they know that they need to start growing their own crops, which they end up doing, I thought it was really fun to see how they're starting to grow, Even Kohaku's strength is, I enjoy seeing a lot, multiple times, Even Senku himself, I mean, he's not physically strong, we all know that, but we all know that his, like, skill and, like, his knowledge in science and brain activity is very, very powerful. He's like a natural born prodigy, genius level intellect of, like, super powerful memories and all that, and photographic memories and so forth. You get the idea. That aside, we get to a scene, of course, where we see a lot of statues here and they're being rebuilt. They're trying to be careful not to revive too much. Even Magma's like wondering, hey, why are we reassembling them without having to revive them? I mean, what's the deal? I mean, should we just get them all to help out and then we could get them to work? However, Nikki does warn them, does tell Magma and the other guy, oh man, I forgot his name. I am so sorry. It's been so long, even though, like, unless they got Ginro, like, hey, well, we can't just revive them all at the same time because we're gonna run out of food eventually, And at this point, we have to be careful who we revive, depending on the source and knowledge of what they can offer, Which is why they revived Ryusei in the first place, despite him being a little problematic, which we all know he is, but it's kind of fun and cool because him being greedy and him having a lot of knowledge is actually a good thing. It's like a motivation pusher to get you going, You get the idea, depending on your point of view. But that aside, they end up, as Nikki says, we can't just revive them right away recklessly, otherwise we'll be in a very bad situation of resource shortage, And of course, Taiju's like, yeah, it sucks, but I really wish I could do a little better when it comes to gathering food here and there, And we had to, Kohaku shows up that we could actually grow our own wheat, Eventually, we had to, of course, Magma and Yo ends up having to be tired very badly, while, like, Taiju himself, is actually working to the bitter bone into the end, While, of course, working in the hot sun is very exhausting. No denying of that, I mean, which is why we appreciate those who work in the farms in the very hot sun, combine that of construction workers who also work very hard in the hot sun. You get the idea. But That aside, Nikki just tells him, "Come on, idiot! This is our own food we're making right here." We had to it that thanks to Gen's like a motivation, thanks to Gen, which we all know who Gen is. I mean, we love the guy to death because, well, depending on your point of view, if you actually like the guy, etc. He's very good with motivating people through his psychological methods, which I thought it was really awesome. Considering that all the people that sometimes are surrounded by currently right now is not as, what's the word, motivated. Well, of course, Yo is one of them because you know how he is, etc., etc., etc. We had to it eventually that there's two people that got motivated, which is Magma and Shindo, or Yo Shindo. We all know these two have a very strong, heated rivalry with each other, but it's not to a point they want to kill each other, but it's at least of competition, which is really hilarious and awesome. And we get to see Taiju still continuing on, which Gen actually gives a big compliment to Taiju's like infinite stamina and willpower, Nikki was trying to get Taiju to like, hey man, take it easy, it's already nighttime right now. Taiju mentions like, yeah, I could still keep going, etc. When there was a scene about reassembling the stone pieces, this is where it gets a little like emotional because not a lot of people are gonna be reunited with their families, And Taiju mentions about like him losing both of his parents right now, which really sucks, and that he wished he could revive them back, but he can't, because that's just how life works, Once they die, they move on. You can't have them revived. That's the very devastating thing about it. But Taiju believes that like at least he could do is to get the people reunited with their other families. At least making this food source amount will at least be able to do that. Which apparently Yuzuriha is very like touched by this, etc. And we have to it eventually. They end up Taiju's farm actually makes a lot of growth here and there, while Magma and Shindo are not even at that point. They're like still at the beginning stage, which they go, okay, I don't get it. Why is it that Taiju's like crops grow tremendously? And we had to it. Taiju decides to like teach him something about like something involving seashells or something that ground up seashells, That's supposed to help out tremendously, and thanks to Senku teaching him that, is the reason why Taiju's form is very much successful. And therefore passes on this knowledge to like Magma and Shindo, and they actually make some good crops, which is very, very nice, Even Magma and Shindo are very, very happy about this. After all that, they go, alright, this is pretty good. And now, like, they finally got the wheat crops, which is really awesome. Now they secured their food security, which is really good because you gotta eat in order to keep living and to keep moving. And eventually there's a funny post-credit scene where they're trying to bake the wheat into bread. Sadly though, it did not come out as planned. Ukyo, Senku, and Rusei's like, okay, hold on, what the hell did we just do right now, And we had to that the people who's not in modern society actually liked it. Even Kohaku and Chrome's like, oh man, this is pretty good, not so bad, But sadly though, when it comes to like Senku and Rusei, when they ate it, obviously they have a very bad stomachache and they end up dying, while Ukyo gives a freaking lesson about, I heard modern people's palates are so refined right now that sometimes they die of starvation because they can't eat the food that they have. So I suggest we need to, well, that's what self-defense force survival taught us, in terms of survival exercises. Even right now, Taiju, Yo, and Magma thinking, I bet they're enjoying themselves right now. I'm like, yeah, you should see if Yo goes over there and dies over there too. But who knows? So we had to it that, freaking Senku and Rusei, they end up saying, I just realized this bread's gonna really kill everybody. Yeah, I agree. So we gotta fix this beforehand. So our next goal right now is to find a chef, which is obvious from the get-go. I hope whoever find a good chef will at least able to give him a decent meal at least, which is pretty much true. Hopefully we'll have a couple chefs around, maybe one or two at most, but some people who wants to learn, yeah, start from there. Even Ukyo's like, well, they said that in Harmony in terms of like wanting to grab a chef, huh? Well, I don't blame him for it, which obvious from the get-go, yes. And preview of next episode, greed equals justice. Although that seems very like nice and all, we're gonna have to find out how that turns out. Anyways, like pretty cool episode. Looking forward to the next one, and it's very exhilarating and very exciting, if anything. So yeah, until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. So I'm AlphaZero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out. Bye bye. Toot toot.